time. These magazines wanna feature me, cause they know I'm on the rise. Get the attention, I'm on a mission. Cause ever since I flipped that switch, my power can't be denied. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, you can buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. Give the attention, I'm on a mission. I'm there with the vision. I got a passion, making it happen. Ready for action. And this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. This is my world now. Hey! Here we go! We coming ready or not, you better steady yourself, because we're raising some hell. There's nothing keeping this roof from blowing off. We're taking over the town, hit the switch and shut it down. Like Indian, we're electric, never stop. We're coming ready or not, we're coming ready or not. We're giving all that we got, we're giving all that we got. We're coming ready or not. We're throwing gas on the fire, the stratosphere getting high. We're trouble when we get crazy, we get wild. Got dynamite in our blood, get ready and buckle up when we go big.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV. We're glad you're here. We're also simulcasting on the Community Radio Network, and we are set for the next round. Yes, the next round of the Northwest Truck Series presented by CLICKIT RV. Again, welcome to our coverage on the Community Radio Network, iRacing LSRTV, round 13. As we get you ready to go here tonight, I'm Wesley Outland. We've got Justin Prince coming soon, and we are ready to go under the lights, night racing here at the virtual Nashville Super Speedway. Going to be a good one here, and we welcome you to, again, our Monday night series. We're getting ready now with qualifying on track. All these drivers preparing again to take on the clock and see who can put the best lap time down. Right now, it looks like Dennis Moore is the fastest man. As these drivers getting the opportunity to go on track, here comes the 2021 Northwest Cup Series champion, Christopher White, in the CWR number 47 Chevrolet. Getting ready to see what he can do here on the track for qualifying. Dennis Moore is right now the man at the top of the board as qualifying continues on. Dennis Moore, 2 wins this year, second in the point standings, only 18 points back to Ryan Bloom. Ryan Bloom, the man that's leading the points right now. 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s, 2 wins for the driver of the number 25, and we'll see what he can do now as Christopher White works his way down the front straightaway. Qualifying underway here at Nashville Super Speedway. Right now, he will clock in 11th. 30.392, 30.392. Christopher White. Here comes Troy Daggett. Toyota number 99 on the speedway. Biggest feat for Troy Daggett this year was whenever he was able to win the duels at Daytona, one of the truck duels. Dennis Moore right now, again, top of the board. We'll see where Daggett ends up here on the clock for qualifying. Right now it's Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr., Kevin Smith, Devin West, Brett Johnson, your top five. Toby Ritter's good solid qualifying drive right now in sixth. Frank Harris is in seventh, Stephen O'Hare eighth. Daggett fighting that truck off the corner, coming to the triangle out of turn 4 here at the Nashville Super Speedway. And he will crack the top 10. Toyota number 99, 30.208 seconds for Troy Daggett. He's going to at least get one more shot at it with another lap at him. Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr., Kevin Smith, Devin West, Brett Johnson right now the top 5. Daggett back across the line again. Will he climb any higher? Yes, he will. A couple of more spots up the pylon. Put the 99 to Troy Daggett now to 8th in qualifying. Well, there's a neat little truck change on the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. As we await Jeff Stabnow, the Billings, Montana driver, to get ready to roll on course and take his qualifying lap. Dennis Moore is still the man to bump right here in qualifying. Again, 29.746 seconds, 29.784 for Dan West Jr. And Jeff Stabnow just disappeared. So Dennis Moore, we'll see if any other takers will qualify. Let's see if, well, there's Jeff Stabnow. Okay, he's back. Let's see if he'll roll onto the racetrack here. We're still awaiting Ron Hunter, Jeff Stabnow, and B.J. Tidrick to take time. It's like we got only 18 entries here right now tonight for the race. As Tidrick, Stabnow, and Hunter are the final 3 trucks. 15 trucks have taken time. Nobody able to bump Brett Johnson out of the pole spot just yet in the number 44. Dan West Jr., Kevin Smith, Devin West, Brett Johnson, again, the top 5. Ryan Bloom, ironically, here's a story. Ryan Bloom not present tonight. The points leader right now, as it stands, not present here during the qualifying session. And he has a 18-point lead over Dennis Moore. If the Win Racing teammate of Ryan Bloom does not, if he does not appear, this might give a great opportunity for Dennis Moore to possibly come away as the points leader here tonight after 12 rounds of racing. Tonight's round number 13, as these drivers again await the end of qualifying. And I am still wondering if we're going to see Jeff Stabnow, B.J. Tidrick, or Ron Hunter even attempt to try to make a qualifying lap right now. As there's 10 minutes left to go on the qualifying clock, it might be expiring here. They might tag the back. So it looks like the field will grid. Those drivers did not take time in the back, and we are ready to go here tonight for round number 13 at the Nashville Super Speedway. Here's your starting lineup. Dennis Moore is on the pole. The man second in the point standings. The 44, Dan West Jr. to the outside. Row number 2, Kevin Smith in that 00. To the outside of him, Devin West. Father and son right behind one another in row 1 and 2. Brett Johnson and Clifford Toby Ritters with a good qualifying run at Nashville. He's 6th. Frank Harris, the legend, with a good qualifying drive. And so is Troy Daggett. He'll fire off 8th. Top 10, Stephen O'Hare and Christopher White in that 47. Top 10. Row number 6 will find Carl Berg, as well as John Ottenbacher in the 89. Row 7, Chris Kynes and Robert Gamble, your top 14. Drivers that do here, including Dana Rogers and Jeff Stabnow, row number 8. BJ Tidrick and Ron Hunter of the 18 drivers. Stabnow, Tidrick, and Hunter did not take qualifying time. Let's take a look real quickly at the Kaufman Creative weather conditions. Getting you set, bottom right of the screen. There it is, 80 degrees, the air temp. We're under the lights at Nashville. Track temp at 82. Partly cloudy skies going into tonight's race. Wind speed 9 miles, now up to 10 miles an hour. So there is the tell of the tape for the drivers as they get into position here. We're ready to go again. Round number 13 here at the Nashville Super Speedway. I'm Wesley Outland again. To 150 laps, 200 miles, the distance. On the 1.5 miles, that is the Nashville Super Speedway. And the drivers will be ready to roll on course here. Already see some of these trucks on the track. Now we're climbing the banking, getting into position. I am wondering if these drivers have changed up their truck wraps, or if we're having a I wonder if we might be having a problem with trading paints. Definitely different wrap jobs on these trucks than usual. Ready for the pace car to drop onto the pit lane. Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr. on the front row. 150 laps, 200 miles, we're underway. Round 13 at Nashville is green. You have a virtual race. Kevin Smith trying to thread the needle. Will he go 3 wide? No, he will not. He'll stay to the bottom. Dennis Moore from the bottom of the racetrack to the top. Throws the block on Dan West Jr. Down to the inside comes Kevin Smith. Smith will carry Devin West with him, father and son alongside, and sideways goes Kevin Smith into the tri-oval, saves it to the bottom of the apron of the Geico restart zone, and we will stay under the green flag. But Kevin Smith is losing all of that momentum, and we got trouble. Chris Kynes in the fence. Other trucks are wrecking. Team Realtree, Chris Kynes involved. And we're under caution. Let's set up a replay and show you what happened. John Ottenbacher, Chris Kynes right alongside with another. This is working off the exit of turn 4. Watch the 20 truck. This was after Kevin Smith had his problems. Oh, man. Hooked the left rear, Ottenbacher did. Gamble in the fence along with Chris Kynes and Ottenbacher. And a multi-truck accident putting us under the yellow flag here quickly on lap number 2. So the caution coming out. We were at the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway, the previous Atlanta Legacy track last Monday night. And we saw Devin West pick up the victory at the end of 200 miles over Kevin Smith. The pole truck there. Dan West Jr. was the winner at Charlotte back on Memorial Day weekend. And now we have Dennis Moore leading the way, the driver of the number 44 machine, Chevrolet. Dan West Jr. in that second spot. Devin West the third. Toby Ritter's fourth. Brett Johnson right now in the top 5. We got several trucks onto the pit lane having service being done. Robert Campbell, Kevin Smith, John Ottenbacher. And again, we are under the yellow flag. Look at these drivers making another lap here. I don't see anybody attempting to make any run to come to the pit lane. So Dennis Moore staying to the bottom of the racetrack. Dan West Jr., Devin West, Toby Ritters, all these drivers. I believe for those that are watching, I think we're having I think we're having a problem with the wrap jobs on Trading Paints, I believe. So definitely keeping an eye on that. As we're looking at the driver, Dennis Moore, working his way down the backstretch. Dan West Jr. right there in tow, Devin West. All of this going on here now. So, obviously, we had that incident that just took place, and waiting to get everybody back into position. I'm thinking when they roll back around this time, Pie into turn 4, we'll get the 1 to go indication. And we should be getting the 1 to go indication this time by. Lights should go off the safety car when they come across the start-finish line. Again, Dennis Moore and Dan West Jr. on the front row. And we have the lights off for the pace car. We will get settled in for a restart. More laps under caution. By the way, that gives us an opportunity to acknowledge Virginia811.com, reminding you to call before you dig, and the caution summary of the race. Right now, 1 yellow flag, 4 caution laps, 200 green, no lead changes. It's been all Dennis Moore since this has got cranked up. Thanks to my buddy at NASCAR, Brian Morehouse, and Virginia811.com, reminding you to dig with care and to call before you dig. So, we will prepare for a restart. It's looking now that I'm finally having a chance to look at social media. There might not be. Well, I guess Justin Prince is not going to be able to make it. Yeah, Christopher White sending me a personal message as well. I think we're having a problem with Trading Paints as well. I think Charles is working on it behind the scenes, our producer Charles Wooten. But the broadcast rolls on. Obviously, these trucks do look different than what they usually look like. Throwback night, it looks like, but I think we got a problem with Trading Paints, but the race rolls on. I think they're working on it behind the scenes, and if that does happen, you'll start seeing manually, automatically, these truck wrap jobs start going back to their original wrap, if that's the case. Nonetheless, the race rolls on, and Dan West Jr. now the man that's leading the way. We got a couple of trucks almost putting it up in the fence. Carl Burke in that 7th spot. Troy Daggett right there behind him. He's at 3rd. Here we go, 3 wide. Up the outside, Stephen O'Hare. Tedrick now. Qualified? Not, but he's got a good, strong run. And that's 72. What a drive. He's into the top 10. Everybody on the lead lap except for Chris Kynes, who got caught up in the accident. He's 2 laps down. Well, this goes on. We are underway. Back straightaway. Look at now. Harris, that's Frank Harris. Down to the inside, battling along with Tidrick and O'Hare. Kevin Smith now right back in that battle again. He fought an ill-handling truck at the start of the race, about lost it when he spun out 4 before the accident happened with Robert Campbell, Audenbacher, and Kynes. And now he's comfortably now putting himself back into the top 10. 3-truck battle now for 10th spot. O'Hare, the meet in the middle. Down there at the bottom of the racetrack, it looked like a run trying to happen between Johnson and O'Hare and Harris battle. This is for 10th and 11th as they work their way back into the corner again here. So a long way to go, by the way, 200 miles. 200 miles, 150 laps to distance. Remember, we are taking off next Monday night for observance of Juneteenth. I guess we're celebrating that holiday now. Juneteenth, we will all be taking off. And then we will return for road course before the 4th of July break on July 3rd. And that will be in 2 weeks at Okayama International Circuit. Okayama International Circuit. The West family right now, 1st and 3rd. Dennis Moore, the points leader, right there in that number 2 spot. As we're watching these drivers working their way back around the racetrack. Ryan Bloom not present, and that could be disastrous for his opportunity to run for a points championship now. As he is not present. And obviously, not being here could hurt him, or at least put him in a bind in the points tally. Here comes Hunter. Ron Hunter, Dana Rogers up the racetrack. This is in the back of the pack, by the way. 15th, 16th. Audenbacher, that blue 89. Normally he's in the green truck from Billings, Montana. Dan West Jr. in the lead. Dennis Moore in second. This is O'Hare and Hunter battling. O'Hare, Hunter, Audenbacher. 14th, 15th, 16th, one behind the other. Dana Rogers in that mix as well. We pick the action back up on the back straightaway. This is Ritters. He's in that 7th position. Ritters and Tidrick down. Inside, Tidrick on the bottom, looking for a run. He'll carry. Double zero, Smith outside looking in. Ritters on the outside, Tidrick on the inside. This battle continuing for position. And this is going on for the top 10. This is for 7th and 8th. Well, they got sideways for just a moment. They got inside. Troy Daggett. He's in that 4th spot to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Chris White. Looking to get out of the top 5 and go to 4th. Daggett opens up the door to the outside. He goes to the inside. White wheel. Chris White powers as they rip their way across the start-finish line. Remember, last Monday night at Atlanta, the race went caution-free. We've already had 1 yellow flag in this race. Everybody just kind of getting into position right now, working their way under the lights. By the way, again, this is a night race. So this is, again, going on. 130 laps to go. Dan West Jr., Chevrolet with Moore, Chevrolet with West, Chevrolet with White, Toyota for Daggett. That's your top 5, 4 Chevrolets and a Toyota. Chevrolet in 6th and 7th with Burke and Smith. A Ford finally in the mix with B.J. Tidrick 8th. And then a couple of more Chevrolets in the top 10 with Ritters and Johnson. 8 Chevrolets, 1 Toyota and 1 Ford in the top 10 right now, as Jeff Stabnow has just cracked the top 10. Tidrick, okay, he was bouncing. Oh yeah, something's going on. Inkin blinking on the number 72 of Tidrick. That's why we saw Stabnow pop into the number 10 spot. He'll fall back to 11th now. And the race rolls on now, closing in. Johnson trying to run down Ritters. There's Ritters. By the way, we are aware that the wrap jobs on these trucks look different than usual. As we approach 125 to go. I know that's something they're working on behind the scenes. I think it's something with trading paints, I believe. However, the numbers match what's on the scoring pylon, and I know these guys fairly well, obviously. Just looks like they're kind of in an all-star race with a different throwback or special paint schemes, if you will. We go along. Dan West Jr., the leader. Dennis Moore, that 2nd spot right now. Devin West 3rd. Christopher White in 4th. Troy Daggett in that top 5, single file. That's the way it stands. Johnson up the hill. Ritters on the outside. Ford truck do-si-do, single file to the back stretch. This is going on now for 8th through 11th. Jeff Stabnow powers his 24 machine into this mix. Did not qualify. 1 spot away from cracking the top 10 if he can get around Brett Johnson, his teammate. Win Racing's Ritters up in front of them. And so is Tidrick. Dan West Jr., fastest on the racetrack, 30.265. 30.265 for Dan West Jr. Fastest man on the speedway right now. There's Carl Berg, 53. Behind him, Smith and Daggett. This is going on behind the top 5. Berg's got that 5th spot, but for how long? Kevin Smith, the yellow 00 on the bottom. So is Daggett. They got a little side-by-side. Now they fan back out single file. Smith down below the bottom of the apron. Ooh, closing in, throwing the block there on Daggett. Daggett now quickly on the defense down to the inside. They work their way to the back stretch into that 3rd turn. Smith to the bottom of the speedway. Got Carl Berg in tow. Daggett right there behind him as well. 30 laps on the board next time by, 120 remaining. This race is 200 miles, 150 laps on the 1.5 miles. Here at the Nashville Super Speedway. Under the lights, by the way. Back across the start-finish line. There you see Kevin Smith and Carl Berg. 5th and 6th. Here we go side by side. Tidrick and Daggett now going to have a battle amongst themselves. This is going on for the 7th and 8th spot. And they're in a hornet's nest log jam of traffic. Here comes now Ritters. Stab now. Up the outside. Back to the bottom. He'll play Top Gun, Wingman, and Goose Maverick for the 24. Stab now with Ritters. Daggett about hit the fence coming out of 4. Dan West Jr., Dennis Moore, Devin West, Christopher White, Kevin Smith, your top 5. This battle now led by Ritters, 7th to 11th, 7-11. 6 trucks going at it there. Ritters, Tidrick, Snap now, Johnson, Daggett, Gamble now, starting to reel them in as well. Stab now inside, Tidrick. Johnson, teammate, little bump there into the stab down machine to help him. He'll get into the bottom of the racetrack, drops to the apron, about tag the left rear of Tidrick, and Stab now had to back off the throttle. And in doing so, bunches up the pack behind him. Johnson, Daggett, Gamble right there with him in single file back to 1. It's Dan West Jr., still the man leading the way. The interval of half a second now on Dennis Moore. The man second in the point standings, the pole truck in the number 2 spot. Robert Gamble, who got caught up in the accident earlier in the race on lap number 3, now climbing into the top 10 if he can, getting around Daggett and Johnson. He drives to the inside. This is Gamble. Gamble a little loose there just a moment ago. Here comes now Stab now. Battle. 4. 8th. Tidrick has it. Stab now wants it. Driver left on the inside. Clears him. Working off 4. Almost drifted up in front of the Tidrick machine. Thought better of it. Ford giving him plenty of room. A couple of Fords battling here. Couple of ovals and Stab now and Tidrick. Now Tidrick falling back. Johnson, his Chevrolet number 7 teammate of Stab now, will clear by Tidrick. Here comes trucks on the pit lane. Dana Rogers, Ford Performance number 07. He's on the pit lane for service. So Rogers on the pit lane. We'll see who else will be takers to come to the pits. 37 laps into this race right now. Ritters, Burke, this is for 6th, inside. Stabnow and Johnson has reeled them in as well. Working off the corner out of 2. Burke outside, inside, back to the bottom. Carl Burke. Toby Ritters, this is the spot, this is the battle going on now. For the 6th position. Burke on the bottom, opens up the door to the outside. Ritters plow the road on the top. Lynn, he'll clear him. So will Stabnow. And so will Johnson for the trifecta, but he battles back. Burke will in the back straightaway. Burke on the pit lane. All that battling he had, now he's committed to come to the pits. Dan West Jr., fastest man on the track, 30.265. 40 laps into this race, 110 to go. Green flag pit stop for Dana Rogers. He was pitted early. Now Carl Burke was coming in. There's Daggett. Daggett with Harris. This is going on now for 12th. Dan West Jr. continuing to be the leader. Dennis Moore in that 2nd spot. 2nd in the points, 2nd on the track, the pole truck. Devin West in 3rd. There is Stabnow. You're looking on the monitor. He is in the 7th position. The Win Race and LSRTV teammates trying to rally together and work to the front from the back. And that's exactly what we've seen Toby Ritters and Jeff Stabnow and Brett Johnson do. Troy Daggett on the pit lane. He'll come to the pit. So will Tendrick. Lap 43 now. So Dan West Jr., Dennis Moore, Devin West, top 3. None of them drivers have pitted yet. Neither has Christopher White. Kevin Smith pitted earlier in the race. He's in 5th. Pit exit now for Tendrick and Daggett. There's Johnson hanging right there with Stabnow. That's his wingman. Closing in on 1/3 of the distance for this event. 150 laps, 200 miles. Dan West Jr. continuing to be the leader. Dennis Moore, Devin West, Christopher White, Kevin Smith, your top 5. We'll pause for 10 seconds of station identification. This is coverage of the Northwest Truck Series, presented by CLICKIT RV on CRN, the Community Radio Network.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Welcome back to Nashville Super Speedway. Technical gremlins unable to have my friend Justin Prince join us in the booth tonight, so I guess I'll be solo again. Stephen O'Hare off the pit lane. Green flag pit stops, a plethora of them is going on. And you got to pick a battle, Charles, around the racetrack somewhere. as now Christopher White is exiting off the pit lane. Dan West Jr., Dennis Moore, Devin West, Kevin Smith, Toby Ritters, top 5. Welcome back to our coverage. Round 13, the Northwest Truck Series, presented by CLICKIT RV. Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten working on the broadcast. We're closing in on 1/3 of the way through here. 150 laps, 200 miles. The distance here tonight. Jeff Stabnow and his Toyota. Sorry, his Ford. 2 Fords now in the top 10 of the 8 drivers that are in Chevrolets. That includes Jeff Stabnow and Frank Harris in 10th. Chevrolet running away with the bow ties, doing well, including Dan West Jr. Dennis Moore, Stabnow right there. Johnson right behind him. Ritters on the inside. Smith on the outside. Here we go, side by side. This is going on now for 4th. Dennis Moore is coming down the pit lane. The 3rd place truck finally committing to the pits. As Kevin Smith looks like he's going to peel onto the pit lane as well. He was going to mount a charge at one time to go after Ritters, but then he thought better of it. Dennis Moore and Kevin Smith on pit road. Brett Johnson on pit road. Robert Gamble on pit road. John Audenbacher on pit road. Frank Harris exiting pit road. Here come the leaders. Dan West Jr., Devin West in. They're on pit road. Toby Ritters comes down pit road. Ron Hunter is now going to lead in the Northwest. Ron Hunter, 10 seconds back. There he goes now. He's the new leader. Hunter Performance Motorsports, number 30. One Fine Studios, Chevrolet. Ron Hunter now the man that leads the way. How many laps will he decide to stay up in front before he peels onto the pit lane? Actually, he's already pitted one time. So pit count, Hunter, West, Moore, West, White, Burke, Tidrick, Daggett, as well as Ritters, Johnson, Harris, O'Hare, Rogers, all pitted one time. Multiple times for Kevin Smith with 2, as well as Gamble and Audenbacher. And Jeff Stabnow pitted 3 times so far in this race, but he's still on the lead lap. By the way, fastest truck of the race now. Troy Daggett in 8th, 30.244. Chris Kine spinning, entering on the pit lane. Should be able to continue along, no harm, no foul. Got caught up in the accident on the start of this race. Comfortably in the number 1 spot now, Ron Hunter. There is Devin West. He is now in the number 4 position. So everybody, for the most part, has pitted. One caution flag so far in this race. That happened on lap number 2. We're on a 54-lap green flag run. Burke and Tidrick for 6th spot. Going on the track in 3. .134 now. The 4th place truck, Devin West, now the fastest truck on track. 30.134. Back to the 2nd and 3rd place drivers. There they are. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th to be exact. Dan West Jr., Dennis Moore, Devin West, Carl Burke on pit road. He is way out of sequence with everybody now. I think he just exited the race. Carl Burke might be out. Something to think about. Ron Hunter has not pitted yet. He's the leader. He pitted on lap number 3. The number 30, he pitted on lap 3. So you got to wonder how far can he go on a green flag run. Closing in on lap number 60 when they come to the line. Next time around. Ron Hunter, Dan West Jr., Dennis Moore. There's the battle for 2nd and 3rd. On track right now, Dennis Moore looked like he's off the pace. I think he was trying to come to the pits and he overshot the pit entrance. And now give the lead back to DWJ. Dan West Jr. now back to the lead. Dennis Moore now to 2nd. That's what you're watching on the monitor. Off of 4. Ron Hunter is not peeled onto the pit lane yet. But he did lose ground to the leaders. He's fell back to 4th. He's already 2 seconds back in 2 laps to Dan West Jr. Yeah, there's Ritters. Ottenbacher behind him. This is for 11th and 12th. Yeah, whatever happened to Ritters? Ritters has fell back behind the top 10. Strong at one point, now falling back, and still a long way to go though in this race. We ain't even got halfway yet. Ottenbacher right there. Gamble behind him, single file. Ottenbacher's trying to bounce back and had to get a fast repair early after being caught up in that accident in turn 2 on the opening couple of laps of the race. Now right there on the lead lap. By the way, just to let you know, as we're 10 laps, over 10 laps to halfway, 15 trucks on the lead lap. That's from Dan West Jr. to Stephen O'Hare, 1st through 15th. Chris Kynes in the Realtree entry 20. We got caught up in the accident, 3 laps down. Carl Burke is 8 laps down. And Dana Rogers is 9 laps down. Ron Hunter on pit road. He has finally came to the pits. There he is, number 30. He led in this stint out on the pit lane. So he pitted on lap number 3. He went about 62 laps. And now he goes a lap down, way out of sequence to everybody else. And now his second pit stop on lap 64. Everyone else is pitted between 45 to 50. Stab down. Billings, Montana driver, the Ford LSRTV. See her in 4K Ford. I know it says snap-on, but it shouldn't look like that. I think we're having a traded paints problem. Anyhow, Jeff Stab now in that number 6 position. .5 seconds back to the leader, Dan West Jr., one of his teammates for Team LSRTV. And Dennis Moore 1 second back to Dan West Jr. Again, we're watching Stab now continue to work his way around the racetrack, just kind of riding and driving, if you will. So around lap 50, 51, we saw the leaders come to the pit lane, and as it cycles back around, you see them back up in front again. So I'm thinking around lap 100 to 105, we'll start seeing the 30 laps from now. We'll start seeing a sequence of green flag pit stops again. So roughly they can go between 50 to 55 laps on a green flag run. And 55 is pushing it. We actually started seeing them start peeling off around 45 to 49. And then a couple went past 51. Well, 2 of those was Dan West Jr. and Devin West. Tedrick Johnson right there, and that's for 7th and 8th. Single file. Ritter's right behind him. Inside Johnson. Tedrick Johnson side by side, bonsai one another. Tedrick climbs the hill. Johnson drifts up in front of Tedrick. Ritter's, will he make a move to the inside? Not yet. Stays to the bottom. Tries to reel in on Tedrick. Got a little loose there for just a second. Audenbacher will now come in and help out. This is in the top 10 now. This is 8th, 9th, and 10th. About to be 7th. Johnson in front. And that little battle there. 4 or 5 trucks in that Tango. There it is. Johnson, Tedrick, Audenbacher, Ritters, and Gamble. And Troy Daggett not far behind. Couple more laps to the cross flags. Great drive down being presented by Dan West Jr. The leader. Look at this battle now. Best battle. This is on track. Best battle. BJ Tedrick, John Audenbacher. It's getting good. Down the back stretch into that 3rd turn. Considering of threading the needle. Audenbacher will he close in? Adenbacher looking inside, outside intently on the Hendricks machine. Chevrolet and Ford battle, 3 Chevrolets. A Toyota now in that mix if you count Daggett closing in. Hendrick outside, here comes Adenbacher. Ritter's on the bottom. Gamble on the inside. Single file, we're halfway home. 75 down and 75 to go. Here is your full field rundown here in Nashville. Round 13 of the Northwest Truck Series presented by CLICKIT RV. Dan West Jr., there is the leader. He is right now 1.66 seconds back. Dan West Jr. looking to notch up another win for the driver to make him now 2 wins in the year. His son, Devin West, has 3. He would join Ryan Bloom and Dennis Moore that are 1 and 2 in the points that also have 2 wins. Dennis Moore, the 44, right now in that 2nd position. As we'll take you through the field, Dennis Moore, Chevrolet number 44. He has 2 wins, as I mentioned, along with a 1 pole. Counting tonight's pole makes 2. And he's looking to try to join Devin West to now have 3 wins this year. And with Ryan Bloom not present, with a good run, he could be the new points leader. Dennis Moore in the number 2 spot. There's Devin West. Devin, most recent winner in Atlanta. 3 wins on the year. Not able to be here for every full-time event. But to make the Fast 16, he's accomplished that feat in only 8 starts. He needs to complete at least 16 of the regular season races. Tonight's race number 9. He's looking for win number 4. And as I mentioned, with 6 top 5s and 7 top 10s, always a threat when he's here. Kevin Smith, the 00, in the number 4 position. There he is, Chevrolet out of Walla Walla, Washington. He has had a share of ups and downs this year, but since they fixed the technical gremlins, he's had 5 poles with 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s. He's at least doing what he needs to do after a 2-point climb in the points to have himself 14th of the Fast 16 to make the playoffs at the end of the regular season. He right now sits in the number 4 position. Christopher White, the CWR Racing entry number 47 Chevrolet, obviously the 2021 Northwest Cup Series champion. He is currently the man in the number 5 spot. Being patient, methodically, making the opportunities to look for that first win of the year with the 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s. He is right now in the top 5. Jeff Stabnow, 6th position on the racetrack. We showed him earlier. And we got a caution. Yellow flag is out. I believe it's Stephen O'Hare, the 41. We'll find out what happened to the One Fine Studios, number 41. For Beaver State Racing. Or it might be Chris Kynes again. Team Realtree, number 20. Who ironically had the first caution of the race. Well, we're looking. That's all I can tell you. We're looking. I'm not sure what the caution was called for. Are we hearing anything, Charles? I'm not sure what the caution was called for. Anyhow, everybody, make no bones about it, are coming down to the pit lane. There you see them, lap 81. They're exiting off pit road now. Devin West, 30.134. He is the fastest man. on the racetrack. They just got done pitting on lap number 81. Everybody working their way, approaching lap 100. 70 to go. Let's take a quick break as everyone else in the back is going pit lane as well for pit stops. We'll go side by side, or no, we'll go to commercial break. You ain't missing nothing. We're under caution, second time. We'll re-rack them and restack them. We're back from Nashville in just a moment.
At CLICKIT RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here at Nashville, field ready to go back to the Geico restart zone. We're back underway with close to 70 laps to the finish, under 70 to go. Well, 60 laps to go to be exact, actually. Over 66 remaining, 66 to go. Charles Wooten running the boards by himself. I am calling the race by myself. And we were just talking about that the race has been kind of quiet. Is this the ignition to fire things up or spice it up a bit? 65 to go now. Dan West Jr., another phenomenal drive for the driver of the 55. He's sideways. Devin West battling more, battling Stab now. Just with a doctor order. This might have been what will make this race intensify. Whoa, look out, bottom of the racetrack out of 4. Frank Harris loose. Shades of what we saw Kevin Smith do at the start. Are we saying? You forgot to put the audio on? Oh, okay. No, never. $60 to go. It's 82 degrees inside my studio as well. Dan West Jr. is the leader. Kevin Smith in second. Dennis Moore in third. Devin West right now in the top 5. Good solid run right now, and the race rolls on. We're glad you're joining us. Oh, it's been a good one. A quiet one, if you will. Hey, by the way, if there's anybody out there that's watching and you want to get into the world of iRacing, our producer, Charles Wooten, has almost a brand new... Listen, he tried to talk me into buying the darn thing, but I don't want to have to tear apart, take apart, tear apart, take apart all my equipment for all of my racing endeavors, because he's telling me I'm buying the wrong laptop. Anyhow, as we approach 60 laps to go, he has a professional virtual iRacing. It was built back in January. That's how new it is. Place your bets and chomp all over this opportunity to have an amazing iRacing computer. I think he's asking for $1,500. Is it $1,500? $1,500. Contact Charles Wooten today. 940-867-0034. That's 940-867-0034. Now, Charles, you have an infomercial, so you can record this, or you know, you can video it again and put it on social media. Yeah, you put it on your social media and say, hey, infomercial, the guy's selling my computer. Always. Well, anyhow, race rolls on. We're at the end of this thing here with 60 to go. Closing in on lap 100. Right now, 2 cautions in the race. So we'll quickly. We haven't mentioned our buddy Virginia 811. Call before you dig in a while. Summary on the bottom left of the monitor when it pops up. 2 cautions. 8 caution laps. 3 lead changes. That's been it. Charles, what you got for us? 58 to go. Calm night here at Nashville.
So we have a little bit of a lull in the moment here, and you're alone. So I just thought about this because I was looking at Facebook and not paying attention to the race for a moment. But I want to know out there, let's poll our people that are out there. You've been to racetracks, you've been to dirt tracks, short track asphalt stuff.
Sure.
When you have a racetrack that's called, like such and such Motor Speedway, is Motor Speedway, or not Motor, so you have like, example, 105 Speedway. They have 105 and then speed and way is two words. But Speedway is in now as your caution, so I wasn't putting my mouth shut.
Yeah, we have another caution. This is exactly what I think we needed, Charles. Thank you.
Well, apparently I'm good at it.
Caution is out. We'll find out what happened. It's either Tidrick or Hunter. I know that much. Sean Brightsman not here either. I just realized that. Look at this. Chris Kynes on the pit lane. Wow. So now we're under the yellow flag again here at the Nashville Super Speedway. All right, Charles, we're back under caution. What were you saying again now? What was your thoughts?
So, I've never seen it spelled this way. They spelled the word Speedway as 2 words, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly 1 word.
Yeah, it should be one big word, but yeah, I think that's just to add to the homage of what the track is. Yeah.
And I've also seen it with a capital S and a capital W. So I was wondering, how is it really supposed to be? Have we been doing it wrong all this time as 1 word?
I don't know what that's about, because Speedway is 1 word. Tomatoes. Everybody has their certain way of doing things. So we're under yellow flag. I don't see anybody committing to come to the pit lane now as we're approaching lap 95. They just pitted like 16 laps ago. I think right now track position. Well, they just called my bluff. At least a couple of drivers did. Daggett coming onto the pit lane. So is Stephen O'Hare. Robert Gamble on pit road. Everyone else will stay in possum behind the pace car. Oh, wow. So Sean Brightsman on vacation. That's cool. Yeah. Devin West still the fastest man of the night, 30.134, 30.134. By the way, to let everybody know, the Sunday Night World of Thunder truck deal kind of changing things around, which I can't say that I don't blame them, Charles, if you want to chime in here as well, because you know a little bit more about it than we do. But obviously, the World of Thunder, prominently known for what they've done in the dirt world. Successfully, but super late models, modifieds, big blocks, you name it. Street stocks, they've done dirt. Then they started doing the pavement deal, and it's had its share of ups and downs, but more downs than highs. And I think the powers that be have finally, after last night, say we're going to kind of change. Am I right, Charles? They're going to change it up and bring in something different, no longer the trucks.
That is correct. They're going stock late model racing.
I hear you. Well, late model stock car racing, it might work. I mean, I know it's not dirt, but it's pavement late models, so maybe that'll entice people. So the World of Thunder Late Model Series, I think it launches this Sunday night. By the way, quick reminder, we are off next Wednesday. Or, I'm sorry, we're off next Monday. My bad. We're off next Monday in observance of Juneteenth. I said Juneteenth. That's all I know. It's Juneteenth. We're taking off for the holiday Juneteenth. We come back to Okayama Road Course.
And just go to the yo-yo
And then we're
track.
off on 4th of July. Do what?
The yo-yo track.
Is the Okayama Road Course or a short? Yeah, I think it's a road
Yeah, it's
course.
a road course.
We're ready. Back for the restart. If I remember correctly, I think Okayama is in Japan, I think. Back on our way. So 2/3 of the way, about to be down. 50 laps to go and a few more laps. Dan West Jr. has now got some new drivers up in front. I thought we raced on the dirt last Thursday. What about Wednesday? Kevin Smith, Dan West Jr. Look at this now. New leader, the 00. Remember when I was telling you through the field the ups and downs this driver has had? Man, could tonight be the night for the 00 and go to the win column. Look at this going on with Ritters and Harris. Back into the corner. Chris White now in this battle. 50 laps to go. Look at this bonsai move. White to the inside. Here comes Harris on the outside to try to throw the block. To respond. Both of those drivers had problems earlier. And now somehow, some way, they are in the crosshairs. Look at Dan West Jr. Kevin Smith, 1 and 2. Chevrolets. Devin West right there alongside. West, Smith, West, 1, 2, and 3. Jeff Stab now up 14 spots. He's back to the number 4 spot. John Odenbacher in 5th. Remember, he was in the 5ths earlier in this race when it started with Chris Kynes and Gamble. Dennis Moore, Johnson. And now for the first time tonight, Charles is going bonkers trying to pick a battle because there's action everywhere. Dan West Jr. outside. Here comes Sun. Devin West on the top. Smith on the inside. He'll weasel and pull up on the outside in front of Stab now. Breaking up the Team LSRTV family. Win Racing. West, Smith, Stab now. Odenbacher, Moore, top 5. Top 6, actually. All of this continuing on now. Clear a path, take a pick. Ready to go for the final 45 laps. Inside. That's the Stab now. Open the door to Dennis Moore. Moore thought about hitting the left rear. Odenbacher will play right there in tow with him as they go to the back stretch into 3. Now he tries to split Stab now into the corner. Not yet. Odenbacher back on the bottom. Dennis Moore, oh my, about drifted in front of him. 43 to go. Devin West in the number 2 spot right behind Dad. It is right there. There is Smith, Stab down, and Moore, and Odenbacher. That is for 3rd through 6th right here on the track. Look at it right there. Johnson trying to get back into this dogfight. 42 to go at the line. Does anybody got anything? For the West family, I'm telling you, it has been their year all season. They have absolutely, I'm going to use the word, Charles, that I know you laugh at all the time. I think you know which word it is. They have been absolutely the cream of the crop. They've been the cream of the crop. The pick of the litter. It was, it was coming. You wouldn't let me finish. 40 laps to go. 40 to go. Dan West Jr., Devin West, another night of the West family up in front, 1 and 2. And again, 40 to go. $110 laps completed. Look at Stab now. Smith, Audenbacher. This is for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Cody Deemers, we do not have a co-announcer. I am by myself tonight. Thanks to our buddy, my friend Cody, tuning in. He was like, who are you talking to? Well, I'm talking to the producer. John. Oh, okay. A producer is stepping away. Hopefully nothing goes wrong because I can't control a button. Dan West Jr. leading the way. Look at this battle now. We're going to stay with it. Best battle on the racetrack. That's why it's staying there. Behind Stab now. Kevin Smith, John Audenbacher, BJ Tindrick and Johnson has closed into the battle. Into turn number 1. Stab now. Smith up on the outside. Audenbacher will follow in tow. Tindrick and Johnson. Here comes Tindrick down to the inside. He makes his run to the bottom on Audenbacher. Johnson will follow. Where will he go, left or right? He's not going to hang with his teammate. He's going to try to split his teammate. Tindrick in the middle. They try to go 3 wide. He couldn't get there. $36 laps to go. Tindrick and Audenbacher and Johnson. This is for 6th, 7th, and 8th spot as we approach the home stretch of this race. It sounds good. You're trying to make me hungry while I'm trying to work. 35 to go. Stab now. He is in that 4th position. And behind Stab now is the battles that we're watching between Tindrick and Smith, Johnson and Audenbacher. Whoa, way high to the safer barrier. Went Tindrick and Smith. They come back down to the inside. Don't jinx it. Pretty good run for Jeff Stab now. That's what we were chatting about just a moment ago. There is the battle going on, continuing for 4th. You've got Jeff Stab now trying to hold these guys off. And I'm going to tell you something. He would love to have a solid top 3 podium, as we mentioned earlier. Trying to now run after Tindrick. What a drive for BJ Tindrick today. Probably one of the best runs he's had, a Vegas and Darlington winner back in 2000. Been a while since Tindrick has got victory lane in the Northwest. Stab now will follow. Top 5. Closing in on 30 to go when they come back to the line. Round number 13 tonight. Best battle on the racetrack right now. There it is. And it is between Kevin Smith and John Audenbacher. Broadcast coverage on Community Radio Network presented by the Wiles Agency Group Incorporated and the Stock Car Racing Team Game. Use the checkout in the cart on the website at stockcarracingteamgame.com. Use hashtag StockCarsCRN and receive a brand new now $10 off discount on the new Stock Car Racing Team Game. Father's Day is around the corner. What a great gift. Real racing, virtual racing, and yes, racing fun in a game board. Are you ready to roll the dice? We're ready to take it to 30 to go. Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr., Devin West. By the way, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there from our Northwest Truck Series family, whether you're a father, a grandfather, a parent, guardian male. One of the greatest gifts in life was to be able to be the father of my son, Nathan. He'll be 16 in July. I love my son. What are you talking about? Yes. He does sometimes push my buttons, but I think all kids do that in some way or form. Here comes now Devin West under attack by BJ Tedrick. Tedrick's trying to move up to third. And by the way, we missed Dan West Jr. getting passed by Dennis Moore. Dennis Moore is back to the lead. And he's gone. 25 laps to go when they come back to the line. This race, no doubt, not the most exciting in the world, especially in the first at least 80 laps of it. As we have moved down to the spectrum of the home stretch, it has actually turned out to be quite entertaining. As we approach 25 to go, well, definitely Katie bar the door. We're looking at a good one. Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr., BJ Tedrick, Devin West, Brett Johnson, your top 5. Jeff Stabnow, John Onnebacher, Kevin Smith, Ron Hunter, Robert Gamble is the top 10. Under 25 to go. Johnson in 5th, got around Stabnow. One time we thought he was going to be on the podium. And that's changed here in the last few laps. Maybe, just maybe, he can make a rally here. Anything could happen. We could possibly see a late race caution. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, coming up after Father's Day this weekend, NASCAR will be at the Nashville Super Speedway. And it will be a Saturday night race. The trucks on Thursday night, Xfinity on Saturday night or Friday night, and the Cup Series on Saturday night. Nashville Super Speedway will be a race. It will be a, yeah, they do try to mimic the schedule. They do a lot. By the way, we have another exciting race that obviously we will be doing on Wednesday, 11:15 Eastern. Oh, we got trucks coming to the pit lane. Kevin Smith is in. Kevin Smith just gave up a big run in the top, at least top 7 to pit. This makes me wonder if some of these drivers might not be able to go the distance. 20 to go. Daggett and White battling. Unless something happened to Kevin Smith's truck more than what we think. Under. Whoa, whoa, well, White in the fence out of 4. Smacks the safer barrier. Losing ground, Daggett will. Or he'll lose ground to Daggett is what I meant. Chris White. Hit the wall out of 4. Keeps on going though. We stay green. Dennis Moore. Dan West Jr., B.J. Tidrick. Devin West, Brett Johnson, your top 5. We'll pause for 10 seconds of station identification and take you to the finish of this race on deck from Nashville, the Northwest Truck Series on the Community Radio Network.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Ready to bring this one to the finish now, but 17 laps to go. Welcome back to coverage from the Nashville Super Speedway. I'm Wesley Outland, again solo tonight. Charles Wooten solo working on the broadcast. Hopefully Justin Prince can be able to fix his technical woes or whatnot. By the way, there's a brand new iRacing production computer for sale. My producer has it. He's asking $1,500 for it. I think the retail value is double than that. It's got to be at least $3,500. I was thinking that. If you're interested and you got $1,500, non-negotiable, by the way. All transactions are final. And serious inquiries only. Am I right, Charles? You serious? Serious inquiries only. Contact Charles Wooten, 940-867-0034. That's 940-867-0034 in hot, steamy, sultry, smelly Texas. 15 to go. Yeah, that's what happened to me at Road Atlanta on Sunday, man. And that's kind of why I was in such a bad mood on Sunday night, too. Because ain't nothing like pit report in the dang rain. Dennis Moore. Dennis Moore is the leader. Hey, by the way, looking for his 3rd win. If he pulls it off, he will tie with Devin West and more than likely will become the new points leader and overcome Win Racing teammate to do it of Ryan Bloom, who gets a tardy slip and an absent slip, actually, because he's not here. I'm understanding Ryan Bloom is celebrating a birthday, man. So happy birthday to Ryan Bloom. So that's why he's kind of out celebrating. Oh, Bueller's Day Off, the movie. Okay, never mind. Shut up, I'm working here. It's 12 to go. Get me off track. It's bad enough I'm by myself, dude. Come on. Dennis Moore ready to bring the field down to the 10 to go indication here. Time of race about 80 minutes right now. Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr., B.J. Tidrick, Devin West and Brett Johnson, top 5. Jeff Stabnow, 6th. John Adebacher, 7th. Tim Ritter's 8th. Robert Gamble and Ron Hunter right now, the top 10. That's the way it stands. 10 to go here at Nashville. Remember, next week in observance of Juneteenth. Yes, Juneteenth, we're taking off. No race scheduled for next Monday night. Charles, that'll give Justin plenty of time to try to get his equipment fixed. We'll come back in 2 weeks from Yokoyama. We will be going road course racing at Yokoyama. And right now we set our sights on the finish of the race. Dan, I told you, Charles, I was thinking something like that. Dan West Jr. coming onto the pit lane. Dan West Jr. is in. I'm wondering if Devin can go the distance. He had to pit. He pit at the same time his dad did. So did Dennis Moore. Does Dan West Jr. know something we don't know? 8 to go. Yep, stop and go. That's what it was. No tires. Splash and go for the 55. They're pushing it. It could be coming down to the fuel mileage, Campbell, is what we're being told. If I was Dennis Moore, you've got a 7-second lead on BJ Tendrick with 6 to go here in Nashville. I would back her down just a little bit. Back her down just a little bit. Here we go. More pit stops. Audenbacher can't go to the finish. He is on pit road. By the way, Kevin Smith on pit road, 30.049. He's not on pit road. Fastest car on the track is what I meant, on the truck of the 00. Kevin Smith, 30.049. He's in 13th. 5 laps to go. Charles, I told you, I had a feeling. I did not think these drivers could go the rest of the way. I was thinking they might have to peel in for a pit stop or at least a splash and go. We'll find out. 6 miles remain. 6 miles remain for Dennis Moore. And draw a caution. All right. Yeah. Working off turn 4 now. 3 laps to go. I'm understanding some of these drivers are on fumes. As we approach the 1 a.m. Eastern Time hour, midnight Central, 11 Mountain Time, and 10 Pacific. Drivers are on fumes. They're coasting to try to get to the end. Just like this man. He needs 3 more miles. Dennis Moore, 2 to go at the line in Nashville. You're on board with him. He shows no signs of stopping. He has backed off a little bit. However, still about a 7-second lead over Tendrick. Works into turn number 3. Burps the throttle, working out of the corner. Coasts to the inside, up to the top of the racetrack. He'll see the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Final time around in Nashville. On board with Dennis Moore. Final lap. Can he go the finish? He's not letting up. Back straightaway, final time in the turn number 3. On board with Dennis Moore. He will now be the second driver with now 3 wins this year. Back-to-back drivers now to get 3 wins in a row. Devin West, now Dennis Moore. He wins and holds on to the fuel mileage gamble at Nashville. And if it wasn't enough, that win is probably going to put him in the points lead as well. To answer your question, the GT3 series on Wednesday night will be broadcasted on LSRTV and CRN. Yes, it will be. Charles had to produce or race direct round 1, so we weren't able to do that. But we will be doing it this Wednesday. The Northwest Dirt event might be in flux for Thursday. We don't know yet. But one thing we know for certain, when it is done, Dennis Moore picks up the win. 3rd different winner with his son, Devin. Oh, look at the new damage model. Tearing him up. I can't believe it. He actually still has fuel left to do burnouts and spinouts in the grass. Let it begin. The Northwest high five salute. How about it for Win Racing? There's our Win Racing teammates. Dennis Moore along with Kevin Smith. The demo derby in the grass rolls on. I'm sure that Marcus Smith, if this was a real Nashville track, would not be happy because he's just destroying the turf. And here's your results. Dennis Moore will pick up the win. He'll pick up his 3rd win this year. Behind him is Devin West, who also has 3 wins this year. Brett Johnson, his best career finish tonight, 3rd. Jeff Stabnow, another solid top 5 in 4th. And BJ Tidrick with a good finish in the top 5. Toby Ritters, how about it for Clifford? 6th tonight in the number 23. Robert Gamble, after problems in the race, rallies back. He'll finish 7th. Ron Hunter, a great run for the 30. He led some laps tonight. He's 8th. Troy Daggett, 9th. Christopher White will finish in the top 10. Frank Harris, 11th in truck 11. The legend, the last truck on the lead lap. Then it's Kevin Smith a lap down. Dan West Jr. 1 lap down in 14th. John Audenbacher in the 89. Then it's going to be multiple laps down for Stephen O'Hare, Chris Kynes, Carl Burke, and Dana Rogers. Time of race, 1 hour, 29 minutes and 2 seconds when the checker flag fell. And the winner, Dennis Moore. One more look at the caution summary information presented by Virginia811.com. 12 caution laps, 150 laps of scheduled distance, and 6 lead changes. Coming up, post-race, it will be quick. We'll grab the top 3. Remember, we're off next Monday. Okayama on deck in 2 weeks. We'll have it for you. Stay with us. iRacing, LSRTV, and CRN, the Community Radio Network. Dennis Moore, 3rd win, and a points lead now from Nashville. Hey, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you joining us tonight for coverage of round number 13. I'm Wesley Outland, of course, solo again this evening. We'll grab the winner in a bit, Dennis Moore, but right now let's get the third place man, Brett Johnson. Probably the best finish in your iRacing career, man. This has got to be like a win for you. Way to go.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good race. Kind of lucked out there, some strategy from Dan and the other guys there that didn't work out. Yeah, lucky to get in there and get third.
Drivers running out of fuel or possibly verbatim thinking they were going to the end of the tanks on fumes. Was you able to go to the finish? Was there any chance you were going to have to pit?
Oh, yeah. I took fuel that last caution and right side, so a couple guys stayed out. Hoping for another yellow, and so it didn't work out. But yeah, Dennis drove a heck of a race, and I think Dan had him covered there if we'd have had a green flag stop there.
And we're talking with the driver of Brett Johnson. Brett, I got to say, man, this has got to be a special season for you, bud. What have you learned being able to run with Team LSRTV, them taking you in, and, of course, in addition to that, seem to be getting better race in, race out?
I'll tell you what, they're great guys. Appreciate them taking me in, and the setups have just been outstanding, really good. Can't say enough.
Well, buddy, before I let you go, I want you to thank your sponsors or anybody else you want to, man. Good job tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, all the guys at LSRTV, Jeff, Devin, Sean didn't make it, but John and Jeff, I mean, those guys are top notch. And you guys in the booth do a great job. And, of course, CLICKIT RV, main sponsor.
There you go. Brett Johnson, big. Got to be like a win again, as I said, on the podium. First podium, third place tonight here at Nashville. Runner-up of the race, Devin West, 3 wins. He was really in the hunt with his father and others, so fell in strategy there at the end, a lap down for Dad. And Devin, I mean, when you seen your dad pit, did you think you were not going to be able to go to the finish either? Were you coasting on fumes? And nothing wrong with Silver, right?
No, I pitted on that last caution with Brett also. That was kind of the make it or break it strategy call there. Me, Dad, Jeff, John, Brett, all of us were really debating coming around on that caution lap. You know, do you pit, do you not pit? And, you know, what's Dennis going to do? What's Kevin going to do? Unfortunately, Dad being first, you know, you just make a decision and stick with it, and hopefully everyone else follows you. And unfortunately, nobody did, so I was kind of bummed for him. And then, yeah, I mean, I can see him complaining that I lost on strategy, but I mean, you gotta give credit to Dennis. I didn't see him taking 4 tires at all. I thought for sure that we'd take fuel, and that was the aggressive strategy. So, you know, obviously I was hoping for a caution there late. Didn't come, you know, so I'm gonna credit Dennis. You don't want to take anything with him. He did what he had to do and caught us off guard, so.
Sure. Yeah, man. Well, I'll tell you what, obviously, still a good day for you, though, points-wise. I mean, you know, there's got to be – you continue to do what you need to do to climb the points. That's exactly what it is. You got 3 wins. Now you got to stay into that top 16 and obviously get at least 16 races under your belt.
Yeah, we're going to keep showing up as much as we can throughout the summer. Obviously, still having fun. And even when we bring great setups like tonight, like Jeff did an awesome job on this set. And even when you do that, you know, you have guys like Dennis and Ryan that just keep pushing you, right? I mean, you can't let off for one week. So, yeah, and that's making it pretty fun. We're enjoying that quite a bit. So, yeah.
Well, buddy, we'll let you thank your sponsors, man. As always, it's great catching up with you, and good job tonight.
I appreciate it. Yeah, obviously, CLICKIT RV sponsoring the series. Big shout out to them. That helps out Jeff and Sean a ton. LSRTV up in the booth. You guys are always fun to go back and watch. My sponsors, Effective Web Solutions, Kenny System Hardwood, Motorsports Distributing, and good win to Dennis.
Yeah, 3 wins this year again for the driver of Devin West. I'm still looking to see if the points have been officially updated yet, and I don't think they have just yet. I don't think we have them officially updated. So there you go. Devin West, again, good, solid second place finish. 8 seconds back exactly to Dennis Moore, who will grab with now 3rd win this year. Winner from the pole for Win Racing, the number 4, Dennis Moore. Dennis yet an 18-point lead gap behind Ryan Bloom. I know Ryan not present tonight. I got a feeling winning the race and doing what you needed to do, getting this 3rd win, has literally put yourself in P1 as the points leader now. Congratulations here at Nashville.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I thought it was a great race. It was really tough to pass, just riding behind Dan there. Dirty air just tightens your truck up so much. And that last caution, I just had to, do something different what those guys were doing. So I decided to throw 4 tires on my last set and, hope for there's no caution, or if there's a caution within a couple of laps. But it worked out for once. It was a lot of fun. Good race.
Yeah, it seemed like it was, man. Obviously, a lot of strategy here. And, man, I got to ask your thoughts on this, and I think it's the first time I've asked you. What do you think of this? What do you think of this battle that's going on now between Win Racing versus LSRTV? Because it seems like that's what it's come down to for the last at least 7-8 weeks of the season now.
Oh, I love it. Like Devin was saying, it's a lot of fun. You gotta make sure you bring the best set you have every single week, because if we don't, Jeff's gonna, Dan, Devin, all those guys will LSRTV. But Ryan and I are working really hard on these sets, and to be honest, this set is pretty much the same set I brought last year, and I won by 15 plus seconds. So those guys made huge gains on this setup, and I gotta give them props for that.
Man, what does it mean to be now the only driver with Devin West that has 3 wins this year?
Anytime you're in the same sentence as Devin West, you're doing okay.
There you go, man. Well, final question. I'll let you thank your sponsors. Got to be a good drive tonight to put yourself in a run for a championship. Are you thinking championship now, or is it just still too early in the year to be doing that?
I think it's too early. It's nice to have the point lead, but playoffs come up. You never know what's going to happen in those 6 or 8 races.
Yeah.
It'll be fun either way. I'm sure it's going to come down to one of us and one of them. Hopefully, we'll see. But my sponsors, all of you guys, LSRTV, everyone in the Northwest Racing Series, CLICKIT RV, they're on the truck. It's the main sponsor of the league. Give Kevin a call. He's pretty tired right now. He just drove 13 hours from Vegas. But thank you, guys.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Remember that.
Yes, sir.
Dennis Moore picking up the win. 3rd win this year along with Devin West. They're 1 and 2. Brett Johnson with an awesome job again on the podium in 3rd. And the points have not updated officially yet. Hey, we got some details and information about the new Wednesday series. Who better to bring in than the man that had a 1 spot shy of the podium finish, but still doing well, getting top 5 finishes, at least making a run to the playoffs. Jeff Stabnow, what's going on? The man behind LSRTV, Rocket Racing Media, and we spiced things up, doing things differently on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, actually, I wish Rob Gamble here was here to talk about this. We're doing some summer fun this series this year. We know that everybody's got hectic schedules. During the summer, it's really hard to commit to doing during series during the summer. So obviously, we're taking that Xfinity break, and we've got a GT3 class road course series going on right now.
Yeah.
Just started last Wednesday, but we weren't able to broadcast it. So first race was at Daytona Road. It's a 5-race series, and all GT3 cars. I think Paul Newton took the checkered flag on that one, followed by, I think it was Rob Gamble and then Devin West. So the first race went off pretty good. I don't have a lot of the details because I'm not actually racing full time. In that one, I'm going to use the opportunity to take a few breaks myself. But fantastic series. I watched it. I watched the first race, just sitting in there, ran a few laps and watched these guys, and it was pretty fun watching them. A lot of really fast guys, a lot of good road course action there.
I got to ask you this question, Jeff. Obviously, the Monday series will stay in flux. That will still be able to go on. Obviously, we're taking off for Juneteenth holiday next Monday. Then we're back at Okayama. Then we're going to 4th of July holiday break. And then it's kind of a wide open swing until Labor Day. But then that's whenever the Xfinity or the CLICKIT RV Fixed Setup Series cranks back up. What was the reason of doing these GT3s and dirt classes and some of the things that they've got planned? And do you feel like it's a good thing to build up morale to come back Labor Day to make a run to 4 or 5 races and then you're into the playoffs for this Xfinity program on Wednesday night?
Well, we've got, we try to mix it up a little bit, right? So we've got, our staples, the Open Setup Series, and we've got maybe some guys that have been building these open setups for a while. Maybe they're better at that. We've got the Fixed Series where maybe we get some different guys at the top of the leaderboard once in a while, and maybe they're used to driving those tighter fixed sets and, maybe a little competitive, and they work at that one a little bit harder than the Truck Series. We threw in the dirt this year because, we've had so much fun running, last year in the NASCAR Cup cars, and then, the last few years the trucks run a little bit of dirt. So, we threw in dirt just to see if anybody was interested and get that out there. We've got some guys that specialize in dirt. So, why not get something out there that's a little bit fun for them? And then on the flip side, for those of us that, focus maybe on a couple other series, well, when we get into something like dirt or the road racing, we're just happy with a good finish. We don't feel like we've got to go out there and work so hard and put in laps and laps and laps. And for us, it's just blow off steam and maybe have a fun series. So I think mix it up just kind of in different ways caters to everybody. After the dirt or after the road course series this summer here, starting in July, I think it is, we're actually leaning towards running the Gen 4 NASCARs, 1,000 horsepower cars.
Wow.
A few of the oval tracks, and if you haven't run those yet, it is an adventure. You're not full throttle on anything, and you got to be real careful with that throttle. So,
is that going to be kind of like a winter series, possibly, Jeff? Kind of like that, maybe?
No, that's going to follow the road series. We were going to do another dirt series, but interest isn't high enough in the one that we have that we're going to switch it up. And James Vining's the one that's running that, so we kind of let him pick. And he came back to me the other day and said that he wanted to run the 1,000 horsepower Gen 4 cars, and so he's testing them right now to make sure we got viable setups for the tracks we'd like to run, and so that's what we're going to follow up the road course with. Yeah,
this will be the Wednesday night following the GT3 series.
Yeah, in July and August. So
and Jeff and Charles and the powers that be, I still believe that y'all should consider late model stocks or super late models on NASCAR tracks. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I think we've seen we've seen iRacing do some of that during the pandemic. They ran some of that, and that does look fine. So that's definitely on our short list of things that we want to try. We've talked about that, and it's always in the hopper, and who knows when we might do something like that.
I guess suffice to say in closing, Jeff, you got to kind of think outside the box. You got to be creative, right? It's about entertainment. It's virtual, but it's entertainment.
Well, it's both, right? We're all competitive people, right? A lot of these guys, they race in real life. Some don't. Doesn't really matter. I mean, this is just a competitive group of people who works real hard to compete. And so, yeah, it's nice to have something that's a little bit different, that maybe, you can relax in a little bit and just go out and have a good time and don't feel like you've got to compete so hard all the time. Some people, like those West, they just can't turn it off. They're going to compete hard no matter what we run. But, we like to, we thought at least this summer that we'd mix it up and have a little fun. We used to do this a few years back, so we kind of revived it, and we'll see how it goes this summer.
All right, well, there you go. So the GT3 road course cars Wednesday night. It'll be this Wednesday night. Jason Rockefeller and myself will be on the call for that one. The Dirt Series as well. We're off next Monday. As always, follow us at LSRTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and the Community Radio Network. For everybody like Jeff Stabnow, Charles Root, Rocket Racing Media, for Justin Prince, hope he's back next week or in 2 weeks. I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations, Dennis Moore. Third win tonight. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Good night from Virtual Nashville.